If I could go back in time and talk to my younger self, here are a few simple habits I would tell them to do, because they're some of the simple foundational habits that result in a long-term ripple effect, resulting in a complete lifestyle change.
I could get used to late nights, dancing my place. I could get used
Number 1, fiber. Yeah, fiber really is that girl. Why? What helps you stay fuller longer? Fiber. What lowers cholesterol? Fiber. What regulates bowel movements? Fiber. Healthy gut microbiome? Fiber. Moral of the story is I would tell my younger self, find a way to enjoy fiber. And for me, what that will end up being is raspberry oats, whole grain carbs, and vegetables. So find a way to enjoy them, whether it's hummus with vegetables or oatmeal muffins. Habit number 2, compound movements, aka the exercises that are the most bang for your buck. Younger Keltie, do not be distracted by all those random exercises people are doing to stand out online. Compound movements like squats, deadlifts, lunges engage more muscles, which equals more effective. Also, if you nail the proper form of these as a priority, you will reduce so many injuries. I just wish I could go back in time and tell my younger self, nail the foundational principles. There's a time and place for functional movement patterns and all those kind of stuff, yes, but nail the basics. Get the form dialed in. And even if that's all you do in your weight training, that will get you so far. But versus spending all this time and energy just on these small things when you just nail the basics. Number 3, the one-touch rule. AKA, don't put something down you have to re-put down. If it only takes 5 seconds to put it in the right spot, Keltie, put it in the right spot. Otherwise, future you will waste so much time decluttering. And one day you'll realize that your environment dictates everything. Your energy, your curiosity, your creativity. A decluttered space is a decluttered mind. And the biggest thing I learned to actually be able to do this is just have a spot for anything. Have a specific spot for your keys, a specific spot for your jackets. And then I just realized how many hours in the week I was wasting just looking at my place and decluttering it because I was overwhelmed. And then because my place is so cluttery, I had no motivation to do anything because I realized like a clean, decluttered space, not perfectly organized down to just everything has a spot. And your level of organization is based on you, but 5-second rule helps. I just kind of tell myself, I'm like, is this going to take 5 seconds to just put in the right spot? Do it now, Keltie. And the future Keltie is always thankful. Habit number 4, raw vegetables may hurt your gut. So this is embarrassing. So what was the actual catalyst that really started my like health and wellness journey? But I was always like into it in some sense because I was an athlete. I really cared about fueling my body and performance, yada yada. But when basketball ended and all I was doing was partying because I was in my early 20s, which was a hell of a time and I don't regret. One day, it was just too much. And I broke down. I was like, I need to get myself in order. And what did I do? Full raw food diet. I remember going to Walmart and just buying all raw food. Fruit, vegetables, this was a long time ago and I had no education. It just seemed like the right thing to do. Like fresh, raw fruits and vegetables, epitome of healthiness. Now there's nothing wrong with raw vegetables. Flashback, fiber habit. What regulates bowel movements? Fiber. But if you eat a ton of raw vegetables in one sitting, yes, that will really hurt your stomach because it's just hard on your stomach. So is it wrong? No. But if you eat 4 cups of raw broccoli thinking, oh, this is so good for my gut, you're going to be in for a treat. And the easiest way to overcome this and still get a lot of vegetables in is roast them, cook them, steam them, blanch them. Just be mindful if you're eating a ton of raw vegetables and your stomach always hurts. For me, I realized, yeah, I eat raw vegetables every day, but I also make sure to include a lot of cooked vegetables, which if you want to get something going, cook some asparagus or broccoli and whoo, TMI. Habit number 5, swap that Diet Coke for sparkling water, Keltie. One day, I was studying in the middle of crazy exam season, and I used to go get one of those 24 flats of Diet Coke, and I looked up, and I'd been studying for a couple hours late into the night, and there was 8 empty cans of Diet Coke lined up. Not from the week, from the study session, which it doesn't seem that harmless. You're like, oh, I'm not anti-Diet Coke, still drink it. But that's almost 300 milligrams of caffeine. 1 can of Diet Coke is about 35 milligrams. Registered dietitians and doctor recommend staying below 400 milligrams a day. And that wasn't all the caffeine I was having. I was having coffee and energy drinks, so yeah. And I eventually realized it's less of the Diet Coke and it's more of the fizz I crave. And so back then, I just wish I would have known, hey, yeah, have 1 or 2 Diet Cokes, that's fine. But maybe like 3 onward, switch with the sparkling water when you're just getting that, all you really want is that dopamine hit from the carbonation. Especially now, a lot easier because sparkling water is just as abundant as Diet Coke. Now, I'm not going to be a fitness influencer that tells you not to drink Diet Coke, because guess what? I'd be a hypocrite. Have I had one today? Yes. But if you're someone like me who just wants to be mindful of their caffeine consumption and also just, doesn't want to live off Diet Coke, easy swap, sparkling water. Number 6, find recipes that allow you to hide a ton of vegetables in it. Back to a fun way to get fiber in as an adult. I remember when I first moved out, I was just so bland, because I just didn't really know. And so I was like, okay, pasta, a side of broccoli, and a chicken breast kind of thing, just pure, simple. And I was like, that's fine, but it's just like one vegetable. And my rationale was like, the more vegetables you can get in, the better. So we talked about the raw vegetables, we talked about the fiber. What are some little hacks you can do? I, over the years, have found several recipes that hide a ton of vegetable and fibers into them that I can make in a batch, so I always have. This includes pasta sauce made with a ton of vegetables, big pots of chili, and the biggest hack in the world, just roast a bunch of vegetables with olive oil, bunch of seasoning, blend, and you got the base of a soup. And right there, instead of just having broccoli, at that meal, I had anywhere from like 4 to 10 different varieties of plants and vegetables in there. And I didn't even notice because it just tasted like pasta sauce. And obviously, yeah, some of those recipes do just taste like blended vegetables, but that's why it tells former Keltie, get on it, find those recipes, half-baked harvest. Find that girl on Instagram fast. Number 7, shower before bed. Now back in the day, what would younger Keltie do? Come home from the bar, 3 a.m., I've had tequila all over me and I crawl right into that bed. If I was lucky, I washed off my makeup. And then suddenly I always had pimples all over my body, all over my face. And once I started showering before bed, it fixed all that. Because why? I was crawling into bed with the dirt of the day on and marinating in it all night. Now, I don't want to also cause like this fear that you have to shower before bed, because as someone with OCD, it's a slippery slope of, I also have to not be overly hygienic because it can be problematic. I will not allow people into my home because I'm like, you've touched the outside world. So as someone with OCD, I realized there's a slippery slope. But in terms of going back at younger Keltie, I just wish I realized like timing my showers with my workout and going to the bar and all that. And just, it's so simple. It's one of those like, what's the easy skincare hack is just like cleaning your skin and body properly. And one way for me is just like always clean it before I go into my bed. And so it just makes your bed a little less dirty. Yes, you still gotta wash your sheets, but you're not every day just adding more filth into it at a very rapid rate. So some people are morning showers and that's fine, but it was more for younger Keltie who was crawling into bed post gym, post bar because I showered in the morning. And I'm like, wonder why you have that massive zit on your back. That would be it. And also the dirt got all over my pillows and I always had permanent acne here. And just, yeah, literally just washing my pillowcase, showering before bed, and just like a basic skincare routine, solve that. Acne and certain skincare conditions are medical, and then you have to speak out to a medical professional. So if you're suffering for that, I love you so much. And I do hate online when you hear influencers like this, like, just wash your face, that will fix it. I know you're sitting there like, oh yeah, Keltie, thanks. That's really gonna work. It's not. But this is for us like dry skin girlies, because that's the thing. I don't have acne prone skin. I have dry skin and I was chronically covered in pimples. So there's like, if you're like me, why is that? Because you're marinating in your filth. Number 8, Waffle Wednesday. I wish it was waffles. Actually, yeah. Bonus tip, eat waffles on Wednesday because it'll make you happier, and that's dopamine, and what's life without whimsy? But reality, it's staying connected with your friends once you get older. If I have one regret, one thing that I've actually gotten really good at now that I wasn't always good at is when you leave high school, you'll lose connection with a lot of friends. When you're in college, you're gonna lose connection with a lot of your high school friends. When you leave college, you're really gonna struggle to see your friends because they're just not a part of your routine. It doesn't mean you don't love them as much, but it is just, you don't have a third place that you randomly run into your friends. When I was no longer at the same gym as my friends, no longer working at the same place, it was just so much more effort. And also then weeks go by and you're texting them, but you don't actually really know what's going on with your friends. And so it's really hard to maintain the deeper friendships. You can do it. Like me and my friends are just really adamant about seeing each other once or twice a week. But a habit I saw on Instagram that me and my friends have started doing is called a Waffle Wednesday. And it was some lads in Australia or UK that they just waffle away to their friends every Wednesday. And it's just such a good habit of just like actually letting your friends know what's going on. So the habit I've tried to do with my friends is send a voice memo or a video once a week and just blabber just blabber on about what you got going on. You're like, yeah, work's busy. You know, I just broke up with him. Oh, this person got engaged. Oh, I'm making this for dinner. Oh, I started this new project. Just, it doesn't have to be revolutionary. It's just really nice way to stay connected with your friends in a low pressure way when you're all busy, and just like actually know what's going on with your friend's life. Because it'd be so often you, after 2 or 3 weeks not seeing your friends, you're like, wow, I had no idea any of this was going on. Because I know for myself, you're like, oh, I'm not going to tell you guys what I had for dinner or that I started this new stretching routine. You don't care. But you'd be shocked how much your friends do want to hear these things. Number 9, eat salmon 2 to 3 times a week. I'm not getting into the seed oil debate because I don't like negativity in my life. But one thing a lot of medical and nutrition experts agree on is that getting omega-3s is important. And one easy way is just, if you enjoy it, eat salmon 2 to 3 times a week. Keltie, do it. Mix it up from the beef and poultry. Number 10, fuel your body. Eating enough equals more energy, which equals better workouts, which equals better results. I still can do a fasted workout. It's fine. But I used to just not prioritize fueling my body. It was just such an afterthought. I was like, no, just like fasted, just go. Caffeine, you're fine. And then I realized if I just make sure to spend a little time to eat before a workout, prioritize fueling my body, I'm going to have a better workout, which equals better results, instead of just hearing fasted cardio because you heard it on the internet once. Number 11, don't confuse loneliness with freedom. It feels good to do whatever you want whenever you want, but it's hard to find true joy alone. Community is one of the biggest pillars for longevity and being healthy. And the amount of studies that correlate loneliness with decreasing health, it's actually insane. And not to mention, the only correlation pretty much between all those blue zones is community. But as someone who just moved out on their first time alone and started living, it is nice. It's comfortable. Especially post 2020, you get into the habit of just being on your own. Once you embrace that independence, it's so nice. And it's a great thing to be able to have time on your own. And you should have those moments in a week that you're on your own and that. But it's also, you have to realize it's easy. It's easy not to have interactions with friends. It's easy not to call a friend. It's comfortable to just sit on the couch alone every single night. Comfort and easy is not happiness and joy. And I think you need those times to relax. You need those times to rejuvenate, and it's easy and comfortable. But avoiding talking to a friend, going out for dinner, doing this just because it takes a little work is going to eliminate your likelihood of finding joy and true happiness in life, because that's from community. And it's hard to find community post-college. Post-high school, you really have to put yourself out there, and it's scary, but on the other side of that fear is joy and happiness. Cheesy, but that's what I tell younger self. Number 12, cut out the built-in sports bra out of all your tank tops. Like I'm wearing right now. I used to really suffer from cramps working out. One reason was electrolytes, but the other was later on in the day, once I had some stomach in my food. I didn't realize it, but I was always wearing like tank tops with built-in sports bras, or wearing my sports bra too long. And I didn't realize how much, as my stomach expanded, because food in there, the restriction on my breathing from these sports bras and bands. This is just even just regular bras. And I didn't realize how much of that cramp I was getting later on in the day, especially like at basketball practice and all this. Sometimes it was electrolyte imbalances. Sometimes it was just eating too close to practice, but sometimes it was just the band of my sports bra. And I don't have a specific answer, especially for my larger chest individuals. I just think there needs to be more research. And so that's why I've said this habit so many times. I know there's actually a study at UBC with Lululemon going on right now, and they've been working on that, is just finding how do we make sports bras that don't restrict the breathing of women, but also support their chests. But if you are a small chested girly, because I can give advice from you, and you don't need any support here, there's nothing to support, just get rid of that band. It's just causing restriction. And for my bigger chest ladies, I'm continuously reaming this down the internet's throat so that technology exists for you. So if you're tired of hearing this habit, I don't care. I'm doing this for your own well-being. And younger Kelties. Oh, and Keltie, but what was the other habit you mentioned saying about electrolytes? Oh yeah, the other habit you're probably sick of me saying, but I'll continue saying, because one thing Keltie was so scared of, younger Keltie, was salt. As an athlete, that is so problematic. And realize so many of those studies about sodium reduction are on sedentary people who don't have active lives, so aren't sweating as much, and so they don't need as much sodium. But for me, for a lot of you watching, you have an active life, you're doing an hour or more of exercise a day, especially when I was actually in university playing basketball, and I feared salt. And looking back, I'm like, oh, you had so many cramps. And what is one of the easiest ways to get over those cramps, that I haven't had a cramp really since, is proper electrolyte supplementation. And of course, my favorite electrolyte is Element, because it's a science-based ratio of 1,000 milligrams sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. This is one of those healthy habits. It's so easy. It makes water taste delicious. Because it's the summertime, my favorite flavors right now are citrus, grapefruit, and I'm also just loving the raspberry. You can make fun recipes with this. I've blended these with ice and water, make it a little bit of a mocktail of sorts. I've actually put the chocolate one in a Ninja Creamy before. Delicious. And I love it because it's trusted by professional athletes in the NFL, NHL, and NBA. And I take it every single day, and it helps with energy, muscle fatigue, and it's just something to consider if you're a very active individual, especially in the summer months when you're sweating a lot more. And we got a new offer from Element for you guys. Get a free 8-count sample pack of Element's most popular mixed flavors with your purchase at drinkelementtea.com/Keltie. This consists of 2 citrus, 2 raspberry, 2 watermelon salt, and 2 orange salt. Find your favorite Element flavor or share with a friend. Once again, that's drinkelementtea.com/Keltie. Thank you, Element, for sponsoring this video. Number 13, for your mental health, think of the worst case scenario. Bear with me, this seems crazy, but this is just such a great mind shift that it helped me with my own anxiety and impatience. When I'm stuck on a delayed flight, for example, or stuck in traffic, I sometimes tell myself, what is the worst thing that could happen? And I tell myself, me being stuck in this traffic, this canceled flight, is avoiding that. So yeah, this is really morbid. I'm gonna be honest. When my flight's delayed, I just tell myself, had we left earlier, the plane would have crashed. Because I always just think, if the plane was crashing, all I would be thinking is, I wish the flight was delayed and this wouldn't have happened. So yeah, that's morbid, but I just think, I was like, oh, thank God we're safe. Like, I just think of my future self looking back. It's kind of like using that, another bonus healthy habit is like, think of your 80-year-old self having a day in your younger self's body. Like, I would tell my younger self that as well. It's like, if you're just feeling lazy, lethargic, you're not getting out there doing stuff, just like pretend you're 80. Getting to relive this day and like what you would do. It's also kind of morbid, but it works. And instead of just being like, I was always so stressed about things I couldn't control. And it's so easy to be like, oh, don't stress about things you can't control. But like, here's a habit that actually helped me deal with that. Number 14, running doesn't age you. Not wearing sunscreen ages you. And the younger you start this, the better. And just because that one time you bought that really cheap sunscreen and broke out younger, Keltie, doesn't mean that's an excuse not to wear sunscreen. Find one that works. You gotta keep trying, and then one day you'll find the one that works and you will stick with it for like 10 years and you'll be so thankful. Because back in the day, I always had red skin. I was like, oh, why is my skin so red? Pour me. It's burnt all the time because you don't wear sunscreen. And also you'll age faster, and the sooner you do it, the better. One skincare tip, universal, sunscreen. Yes, it's a sun scare. Number 15, which actually is my motto of the year, which I wish I could go back and tell my younger self, is it's supposed to be fun. It's kind of also that saying I've said 1,000 times is reminding yourself, I don't have to work out, I get to work out. As a former athlete, I was always training for something. I was always trying to get to college basketball. Once I did that and college basketball ended, I was like, I need to sign out. So that's what led me to bodybuilding, because it was just something I could go compete at and win at right away. Not saying I would win, but you know what I mean? Like, there was like, I could enter a contest right away. And I wish younger me, I'd given myself more permission to go have fun with exercise, find joy in movement, just go out for a run with good music. Take up dancing, try a spin class, try weightlifting, try CrossFit, just like try things with the point of it being fun. And once, you know what I mean, if you're really enjoying it, yeah, you can still train for competitions. But sometimes in the health and wellness industry is like, we take it so seriously, and it's true, health is important. It's on the side of like medicine, but working out and all that, like, it's supposed to be fun. Everything, it's supposed to be fun. Your job, I even tell myself that with work sometimes, and I know everyone's job is different, but I'm like, oh yeah, this is supposed to be fun. If you are in a career you chose, you probably chose it because you thought it was a fun career. I know before I got a job that I loved, that I worked for, my first job's definitely not fun. But now that I'm in a place where I've had those crappy jobs and I have a fun job, I have to tell myself, it's supposed to be fun. Your workout, it's supposed to be fun. Instead of you just kind of get stuck in this routine and you grow to hate everything. And just simply saying that sometimes just snaps me out of it. I'm like, oh yeah, I should be enjoying this. Let's make this more enjoyable. And then find ways to just like re-spark whatever brought you to want to do that. So I wish I could tell my younger self, whatever path in fitness you choose next doesn't have to become your identity. You can just have fun with it. So thank you guys for allowing me the 2 weeks off for my birthday. I do that every year in July. Just take 2 weeks off from uploading and just enjoy time with family and friends. So thank you for that birthday present. And I always feel that maybe I did it last year and do it this year, is maybe this will be my birthday ritual of like a healthy habits-esque advice to my younger self style of video. So if you guys want me to make this a yearly thing, when I come back from my 2-week summer vacation, let me know down in the comments. And also anything you would tell your younger self. One of my favorite parts of this channel is just the positive comment section and people giving their advice, their version of a review of things, and you can check that out down in the comments or leave one. And you know, while you're crawling your way down in the comment section, you can always, you know, pop a little like or subscribe while you're headed down there, you know. Or if you don't want to leave a comment, easier, just a little like as a birthday present to me. Please, thank you. If you just did that, thank you. You actually went and did that. So yes, thank you, Olivia. I do appreciate that. But moral of the story, hope you have a great day. Go pet a dog. Love you guys. Bye.